I think most of us can say that we've grown through all this, whether it's cutting our own hair or
not getting your hair cut,
raising our own food, doing things that maybe we never would have thought of before, but out of necessity, we've done them. And now we know we can step up to the plate when we need to and do what needs to be done.
Hello, and welcome to the Homepage Network and another broadcast of Movin Together. I'm Sara Vogt. Movin Together encourages us as women to be proactive about our health, our mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. For many of us, including myself, this COVID-19 pandemic has both blessed and stressed in all four of those areas of our lives. Just think about it. On Friday, May 29th, Tioga County enters the green phase as an important step for our gradual return to normalcy. But not quite. Many activities we look forward to each year have been canceled, modified, or changed. No hugging? So where is our hope for the future for us and our community? Joining me in the studio today is my good friend, Lori Makos of Laurel Behavioral Health, to chat with us about the virtue of hope, the gift of hope. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you so much. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, Lori, what is hope?
Well, hope is a desire for something and an expectation to receive it. But it's not like you're hoping to win a Ferrari or find a diamond ring on the sidewalk. It has more to do with our salvation and our well-being.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. How can we strengthen the hope that God has entrusted to us? Some practical ways we can do that.
Well, I think everyone has been very stressed in the last several months, and it's easy to fall into depression or even despair. So there are certain things that we can do to help us to keep that hope. One would be realizing that in situations where we feel like we don't have any control, like the COVID-19 virus, we do have some control of smaller things. So I don't have control over whether or not I have to be quarantined, but I do have control over what I'm going to eat today, if I'm going to exercise, what I'm going to do with my time. Another thing that I think is really, really important, Sara, is limiting information, limiting the news specifically. It doesn't matter which political party you affiliate yourself with, but to realize that there's a lot of sensationalizing in what I call like prophecy news. Things like, this will be our 9/11, this will be our Pearl Harbor, things that were said that just promoted a sense of panic. Mm-hmm. And we need to guard against those things.
And we get caught up into that, don't we? Sometimes, when we're watching through the news, we think, well, I need to see this, well, I need to understand that. But in Homepage, our hope is that we give out positive news, confirming news, the truth, right? So if we're watching this news broadcast and we're getting those dreadful thoughts, how can we change them into hopeful thoughts?
Well, I like how you said dreadful thoughts, and I call them what if thoughts. And usually anything after a what if is a temptation to fear or a temptation to worry. So we need to be careful that we're not making videos in our head of things, bad things that can happen, because that's going to promote anxiety and panic. Sharing those thoughts with maybe a confidant or friend is a healthy way of seeing if they're really grounded in reality, or if I'm just making a new movie in my head. And trying to stay hopeful, grateful. Try to find maybe 3 things every day that you're grateful for, to focus on those things instead of the chaos, the fear, and what might happen.
Well, that kind of goes along with my next question. How does hope grow when we share it with others?
Well, I think, isolation is very hard on us. We're a people that, we're created for relationship. We need each other. So finding new ways to be flexible with the social distancing, the quarantine, we couldn't actually physically be together, but to find different ways that we share our feelings, our commonality, those things help us feel grounded and part of a community, even though physically we may be alone. During this whole time, things that people normally did for self-care, those things were shut down. And we had to find new ways to take care of ourselves. And it can be challenging, but definitely necessary. I think most of us can say that we've grown through all this, whether it's cutting our own hair or
not getting your hair cut,
raising our own food, doing things that maybe we never would have thought of before, but out of necessity, we've done them. And now we know we can step up to the plate when we need to and do what needs to be done.
Yes. Well, Lori, thank you so much for joining me for this broadcast of Moving Together. I appreciate your friendship and your wisdom and your encouragement. So thank you for taking the time to do this today.
Thank you, Sara, and thank you for everything that you do at the Homepage Network.
In the writing below, you'll find many words of encouragement about hope and Lori's contact information. Hope looks ahead, so we'll be moving together, going into the future with hope. Thanks for joining us on the Homepage Network.
Enjoy breakfast, lunch, and dinner at Red Skillet in Wellsboro, PA. Locally roasted coffee, homemade pastries, market fresh grab and go, smoothies, delectable salads, and the best fries this side of the moon. There's a myriad of beverages including specialty drinks and cocktails, ice cold beer on tap. Red Skillet menu selections bring delight to everyone. Dinner at Red Skillet is beyond incredible. Try their strawberry spinach salad, Norwegian salmon, or red knot Thai chicken. Then bring your dinner to a perfect ending with one of Red Skillet's famous desserts, like their amazing coconut cake. There's plenty of seating both inside and outside. Catering services are also available. Fresh ingredients and contemporary classic cuisine. Red Skillet, 104 Main Street, Wellsboro.